Welcome back to Harbour Unboxed for another episode of Unboxing Boxes. Now, it's been probably over a week now since I did one of these episodes, and you guys have been letting me know about it. My inbox has been getting filled up the last few days. I thought, all right, I'm going to have to do an Unboxing Boxes. I have been busy with upgrade my PC, please, but you guys don't seem to care about that. It's all about the Unboxing Boxes, apparently. So I've scrounged together a couple of packages here. It looks like we've got about, what's that, 7? 3, 6? I can count. 6. There's not a height. Thought I had 7. Anyway, we've got 6 by the looks of it. So, suppose I should open one. We'll start with, we have a big light one here. Jaybird. I don't know if they've released anything new. We'll have a look. Okay. Oh, blimey. Where is my knife? Oh, found it. Alright, box number 1 coming up. Here we go. What have we got? What? Looks like we got a mostly empty box. Ooh, nice. Okay, well, that was a big box for a little product. This is a very awesome little product, the G903 Chaos Spectrum, maybe? Something like that. Does it say on the box? Nope, but I think it might be the Chaos Spectrum. I will check that out and find out. Logitech have the coolest product names, I have to say. Alright, so, for those of you who don't know, this is the newish, it's like a revision of the G900, sorry. So I think the G900 came out last year. I've been using mine for, it'd have to be a year now. And yeah, I love it. So I've got the G900. This is the 903, and yeah, very similar looking mouse, but there are a few changes. Big problem with this mouse right now is that it's $140 US and the previous version was $115 US. So that's about a 20% markup in price for people in the US. So 20% price hike, that's not too bad. Here in Australia, you pay, I believe it is about $155 for the G900 that I'm using. This, $250. Nearly $100 more, something like a 61% increase. That's 3 times the price premium that the guys in the US face. $250. I can't see it being worth it for that price. $150 would be pretty hard to justify, but it is an amazing mouse and it is pretty much one of my favorites, so I'd probably get it for $150. $250, I think I'd find a new favorite mouse. Anyway, looking past the price, which hopefully will come down, all the major retailers in Australia are selling it for $250. There's no price gouging or anything going on. That's obviously the price they can sell them for once Australian taxes and whatever. It's a direct conversion from US. It should be like $170, $180. Of course, we have shipping and taxes and things that boost the price up. But $250 seems a bit high. But yeah, there's number of retailers selling it for that price, so I don't think they've all got together and done some sort of price fixing. That seems highly unlikely. That's just the price they're selling for at the moment. So hopefully Logitech can offer them in Australia at a much more competitive and reasonable, realistic price. Anyway, what's new about this? So it has a 10 gram removable weight. Adds a little bit of extra weight if you want it to the mouse. It's, yeah, whatever. It's a fairly weighty mouse as, you know, to begin with, because you've got a lithium-ion battery in there and it's a wireless mouse. So yeah, whatever. It now has a better clicker rating. The old clickers, they do 50 million clicks now, 50 million lifespan. Previously it was 20 million, so you just have to go a bit bananas to get through that. But now 50, yeah, something else will probably fail before the clickers die, hopefully. Or, well, I don't know if you want to fail. Anyway, forget I said anything. Moving on. The main key feature is Power Play. I believe it's called Power Play. And it is their new wireless charging technology. So this mouse supports it, the G900 doesn't. What that means is if you have a Power Play capable mouse pad, apparently I believe there's only one wireless charging pad from Logitech at the moment. If you have this mouse on it, it won't go flat. You won't have to plug the cable in. It will charge up wirelessly when it needs to charge up. Generally, that is a big problem with this mouse. It only lasts about a day of use. So I found, every day I had to plug it in, or at least every other day, because I do sit at my computer quite a bit, as you probably can imagine. Not a huge problem. I have the cord just sitting there. If it goes flat, I quickly chuck it in. I make sure if I'm going to play any games or anything, it is fully charged up. You've got indicators there, and the software tells you what percentage it's at, so that's very good. And it does charge very quickly. It's fast charging, so you plug it in before you know it, thing's fully charged. You can rip the cable out and be free again. But yeah, having a wireless charging pad, that would just take this thing next level. The only problem with that is, after us poor Aussies paid $250 for this mouse, we then have to turn around and pay $200 for the wireless charging pad. So yeah, nearly $500 combo that for what is a really nice gaming mouse, but not that nice. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. Hopefully both the pad and mouse become significantly cheaper in the near future, but I wouldn't hold your breath. So is there anything else in here worth discussing? You obviously have the cable. It's a nice braided cable, and it's quite unique in the way that it clips in. It clips in quite easily and holds in really well. You've got to really yank it out. So that works well, looks good. The only problem I've found with these bits, my new phone's a Type-C connector anyway, so this is, well, you could use the adapter, so actually that might solve that problem. I was going to say the problem with this, the micro USB connector, is that on my old Samsung Galaxy Note 4, you kind of had to like bend these out of the way to put it in to charge it, so you couldn't use one cable to charge your phone and your mouse, or you could just change to a normal cable, which would still work with this. But anyway, whatever. Not a huge issue, not the end of the world. Then in this little container here, you have your, you can change the buttons on the side here to a single button or dual buttons. You can also put clicking buttons in the opposite side. There's just a blank there, or you can blank out both sides. And then you have your little USB dongle, and that can also, I believe, go in the end of this if you wanted to for some reason do that, but then you couldn't use that to charge it. So anyway, it's got a little micro USB to standard size USB adapter. But I just plugged that straight into the computer and it works fine. And my computer is quite far away. Here's your weight. Your 10 gram weight if you want a bit of weight. I said, did I say? I don't know. I might have said, I was thinking of saying it feels the same weight as the mouse I already have. If I said that, that's because it probably is. You have to put the weight in first, Steve. And if I didn't say that, I was thinking it. So the weight just, does it go in there? Yeah. This is one of those situations where I'm going to look like an idiot, isn't it? And I should just read the instruction manual. I'll be back in one moment. Okay, no, I was on the right path, but you put it in this first. So it just clips into this little magnetic holder thing in there, and then you line up the little line, drops in like that, easy. And wow, yeah, it is noticeably heavier now. It is around 10 grams heavier, I would say. Yeah, anyway. So there you go. Rather expensive mouse, but I'm very keen to use it as my daily driver. Obviously, I got it for free, so yeah, whether I would pay $250 for it. I think $150, and yeah, it's an amazing mouse for that price, but $250, yeah, that's a bit too much. All right, enough about a mouse. Oh, these are a better set of instructions. The old quick start manual guide. All right, up next, let's get this one on the end out of the way. This is another ridiculously light box. Feels like there's less free space in this one though. Well, no clues yet as to what is in this. Say hello to convenience. $30. What is this? HelloFresh.com.au, $30 off voucher. I got 2 of those. Okay, I have no idea what that's about. I'll try and work that out later. Okay, so we have a Silverstone HDMI cable sent from Silverstone, and I'm not sure what these little gifts are all about. Well, that could be cool, I don't know. But anyway, this is the focus of that box, I believe. The Silverstone premium certified HDMI 2.0B cable, 4K ready, CPH01, and I believe the 1800 probably means it's 1.8 meters long. Oops, just butchered the box. That shouldn't matter though, we don't need that anymore. Alright, so we have a very, very thick, very, very premium looking HDMI cable here. Now, I am by no means an expert on HDMI cables or even just cables in general. So normally I would say avoid paying a stupid amount of money for a HDMI cable. They generally work or they don't. So yeah, paying a heap of money for a premium cable usually won't improve anything. I know if you're traveling quite a long distance, I'm not sure, maybe 10 meters or more, then you will need a good quality cable. Otherwise you will just get dropouts and things like that. So what is so good about this Silverstone cable, apart from the fact that it looks and feels awesome? The good news about this cable is it isn't hideously expensive. It's actually quite reasonable, especially if you're used to buying cables from retailers. I know here we have, you know, your Harvey Normans and your Good Guys, all those kind of guys, and a basic, like as basic as they get HDMI cable, they're like $30. So this thing you can buy online. I believe it's $14 US from Amazon, or it's like $19 Australian at our local retailers, or the computer stores that are stocking them. So $19 for this seems very, very reasonable. So it is a HDMI 2.0B cable. It's backwards compatible. It will support the 4K resolution at 60 Hertz. So, you know, that's about as good as it gets right now. And it does support a bandwidth of up to 18 gigabits per second. So at the ends here, either end, we both obviously have two male connectors here. It has a silver aluminium textured sort of cover here, which feels and looks good. It's definitely very strong. You're not going to break that. And it's gold plated, 24 karat gold plated connectors. So you should get a nice clear signal through those. And the cable is heavily shielded, which is also very important when you're running it near power cords and things like that behind either your computer or your entertainment unit or whatever you may have. And it is 30 AWG, or American wire gauge wiring, and that's all sleeved. So yeah, it's got a nylon sleeve, it's braided cable, it's extremely thick. There's simply no way you're going to stretch or break that, or yeah, it's going to be very, very durable. So yeah, and as it says, as I suspected on the box, it is 1.8 meters long. So if you're after a premium HDMI cable, I'd say this is probably the way to go. I don't think there'd be anything priced this well with this kind of quality. Of course, I will test it out and see how it goes. But yeah, I don't really have the tools or expertise to really tell you if it's worth, you know, buying this for 19 Australian dollars over maybe a $10 cable. But as far as durability and things go like that, and it does look good. Not that you really see a HDMI cable or look at it. But anyway, a good quality HDMI cable nonetheless. It's certainly build quality is very good. So, check it out. Alright, so far we have seen a mouse and a HDMI cable. So it's a little bit different to the usual GTX 1080 Ti's and X399 motherboards and stuff like that. Nice change of pace. What have we got here? So those two kind of look like they go together. And this is actually something from ASRock. So it's either a new mini PC or a mini motherboard. Let's go find out. If you guessed mini PC, you were wrong, because it is a very mini motherboard. Look at that cute little box. So what have we got here? We have the ASRock Fatality AB350 Gaming ITX/AC. Obviously has AC Wi-Fi. This is actually the first Mini-iTX Ryzen motherboard, AM4 motherboard I've got my hands on. I've been trying to get one for ages. It's quite funny because ASRock said they're sending this out, and that was about a week ago now. And at the same time, from PC Keski, I'd ordered my A12 9800. I thought this will be the ultimate pairing, an awesome pairing. This is about think it's about 125 US, and that's about might be $200 Australian actually, so it is a little bit pricey, but still the A12900 is about 150 Australian or 110 US, so similar price APU and motherboard. So I thought that's a pretty cool combo. If you can put that in a tiny little case, you won't need a graphics card or anything like that. Chuck some 8 gig of memory on there. And that could be a cool little home theater PC / gaming rig that you could play things like Rocket League and possibly Overwatch on. And yeah, that would be a cool combo. And I was pretty excited to do a build on that and show you guys. Then I got my A12900 last week, and because hundreds of you were begging me to test it out, I tested it before this arrived, which I'm actually glad I did now, because I was going to do a build and then a benchmark video, and that would have made the build video kind of suck, because as it turns out, the A12900 is utter trash. Just terrible CPU, and I can't really think of any scenario worth buying it, and you would be livid if you bought this, then put that CPU on it, and got a slim case without the ability to install a discrete graphics card. Because yeah, that would suck big time. Basically, your best option here is to get a Ryzen 3 1200, overclock it, and then stick something like a GTX 1050 on there, and that is going to be a really sweet combo that'll play all the latest games at reasonable settings and be enjoyable. The A12, even if you put the Athlon X4 950 on there, it's just a stuttery mess, guys. It's so bad. I know there's a couple of guys that are like, oh, you missed the point, it's for this, it's for that. The CPU side of things, I cannot stress how bad it is. I might even do a video because it's just that bad. Overwatch, lowest possible quality settings. You can put any discrete GPU you want in there, and it's so unplayable. It's bad. So, yeah. AMD's Bristol Ridge APUs and their excavator, pile driver, bulldozer architecture. It's just no good for modern gaming and things. CPU demanding games. You'll play Rocket League and all that, no dramas, but Battlefield 1 and Overwatch, games like that, no good. So anyway, I've ranted enough about that. Let's have a look at this board. As I said, the cheapest, lowest end processor you're going to want to stick on here is the Ryzen 3 1200, and that's a really good value CPU. Overclock that to 4 gigahertz or even 3.8 or whatever you can get to. You definitely do 3.8, 3.9 probably, 4 gigahertz possibly. And yeah, that is going to be a sweet gaming rig. I'm probably going to put the Ryzen 3 1200 on this, overclock it as high as I can. Probably go with GTX 1050 Ti maybe. I'm going to do a build very soon with this. I'm really excited to do that. I've been waiting to do it for a long time. Anyway, this board is quite feature-packed for the, what did I say, it was $125 US. For that, you get Intel gigabit networking. You get a decent audio solution using the ALC 1220 codec, and that has the Creative Cinema 3 audio software supporting it. You got the 4, so it is a B350 board, so you get the 4 SATA 6 gigabit per second ports. There's a USB 3 header, a couple of USB 3s on the back. There's a Type-C 3.1. This is pretty cool, actually. It has an Intel 802.11 AC Wi-Fi adapter, dual antenna deal, but it also has, one of them will be Bluetooth, so it's got Bluetooth 4.2. So that's very nice indeed. So you get all that packed into this tiny little board, and then hidden around the back here, which I just spotted a moment ago, you have an Ultra. Actually, it may not be an Ultra, but I think it's probably an Ultra. Ultra M.2 port. You have an M.2 port anyway, so you can put, Samsung 960 Pro in there, and it's going to be blazing fast. So that's very cool. Very small VRM heatsink, so I'm not sure how well that will work, but we'll do some temperature testing and stuff like that. And then there's a little heatsink, which will be on the B350 chipset, I would say. But yeah, very good, cute little motherboard. Dual HDMI outputs. It looks like it has pretty much everything you're going to want or need, and it's reasonably priced. So $125 US. So that's pretty good. I'm not sure how many. I know Gigabyte has a B350 board. BioStar got theirs out first, but I wouldn't touch those. But anyway, yeah. So cool board. Neat little I/O panel, some SATA, antenna. So you got a pair of 2 SATA cables, your antenna, and that's about it in the package. That's about all you'd really expect. So I'm going to probably try and get my hands on a cool case, Mini-iTX case, put that build together real soon, have a bit of fun with that and see what we can come up with. But yeah, expect to see this board on the channel in a build very soon. Alright, another Logitech box. The last box was, I think it said Jaybird on it, but that's because, and I'm not, communications, I'm not actually saying, because I'm trying to think of what to say. Communications, they represent Jaybird, Logitech, and probably a heap of other companies, but Jaybird and Logitech are the main ones I deal with. So yeah, we got a Logitech package here, and I think you guys would agree it's keyboard shaped. And Logitech did release a new and exciting keyboard, and I was kind of hinting at getting one. So let's hope that's what it is. Because this could be, actually this could work out really good timing, because I'm going to use that mouse that I just opened as my daily driver. I'll be using that later today, probably to edit this video. And if this is what I think it is, this could be my new keyboard. It's looking like it could be. Steve, that's me. Alright, let's get that out of the way. Okay, so this is the new G613 keyboard, and very slim package, this one. It is a mechanical keyboard, and that isn't particularly unusual. Most of the keyboards we look at these days are mechanical. I certainly wouldn't go back to a membrane keyboard or anything like that. I love mechanical keyboards. But what is special about this one? Well, it is a wireless mechanical keyboard. And although I have wires all over my desk because I have test systems all around me and, you know, constantly plugging in wires and stuff, so I can't do the neat kind of setup wars type setups you'd see, but I like to have my main rig in between all the chaos quite neat and tidy. And that's why I like the wireless mouse. I don't have to have that cord there that often, or at least all the time. And I have a really, really thick USB cable going to my keyboard, and I thought it'd be nice to get rid of that. And so when I saw this, I thought this is a solution to get rid of that. Wow. Looks very cool on the back. I love, okay, already I like the way the palm rest is completely integrated. It's not even detachable, which I don't really have a problem with because I never detach mine, and the detachable ones often flop around a bit, fall off when you move them. So I'm happy that that's physically attached at all times. I don't have a problem with that I can think of right off the bat. I'll let you know after I use it for a bit. So it does have the Roma G keys, which I have to admit, not a huge fan of. I've used them a bit in the past, and these actually, I don't know if they've modified them or changed them, but these feel a little more tactile than the last time I remember using them. It's possible they haven't changed at all, I'm not sure. They're still just called the Roma G switches, so yeah, don't know. But for some reason I remember them being much more mushier. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. But these feel pretty good. So on the back here, the feet, they sort of pivoted up on a nice angle. There is only one setting. It is quite high, quite aggressive, but I like the higher angle. You've got rubber pads the whole way along the front here, and then rubber pads on the feet. So when placed on the desk, it grips quite well. It doesn't move around easily, so that's good. But you can move it back and forth because the legs fold out sideways rather than back or forward. When you move it around on the desk, they don't fold away, so that's good. So they fold outwards. Very good. We've got some dedicated multimedia keys, volume up, down, play, pause, next, all that sort of stuff. There is a Wi-Fi button by the looks of it. You can connect it using wireless with a dongle, or you can connect it via Bluetooth. Let's just get into this little accessories package and see what we can find. That's kind of neat. So if you use this, again, I'm just guessing here, this is like a stand. So if you use it at your home theater PC or whatever, you can just sit it on the stand when you're not using it, and it just sits like that on your coffee table or whatever. Could be wrong, just winging it, as I do. Anyway, alright, down to some serious business. The cool things about this wireless mechanical keyboard. I didn't believe this when I read it at first, but it takes just 2 AA batteries, and that in itself isn't that amazing. But with just 2 AA batteries, and they're not special rechargeable ones or anything like that, just 2 standard AA batteries, it'll last 18 months. So that's awesome. Obviously, it's not RGB backlit and all that, because that would chew through your batteries in hours. But yeah, that's incredible. So I assume that's reasonable amount of usage each day, 18 months. So, I mean, even half that time is pretty awesome for a pair of AA batteries and a wireless keyboard. So yeah, I think this will end up on my desk later today as my daily driver. And you won't run out of batteries either, or battery power, because at 15%, when there's only 15% of power left in the batteries, the software will pop up notifying you of that. And apparently there are 2 LED lights, I believe, probably the caps lock and battery light. They both flash on to indicate that the battery is indeed going flat, and you will need to swap those puppies out. So they just go in. Oh, look at that, it's come with 2 pre-installed, and there is your USB little dongle. So that's probably a wireless dongle. Wouldn't be Bluetooth, but don't quote me on that, I have no idea. As usual. I don't know if I've actually shown you guys. I'll throw up some B-roll of it. I don't think this, like I said, I don't think there's any lights or anything like that. So this is pretty much how it looks when it's not being used and when it's being used. But when it's being used, there'll be like hands doing that kind of stuff on the keyboard. You get the idea. There is also, what have we got here? Six programmable G keys. So you can obviously program them to whatever you want using the Logitech software. As I said, we've got the multimedia buttons up here, and they're nice and clicky. The cool thing about we got the Bluetooth button, that one, you can actually connect this via Bluetooth to 8 devices simultaneously. So you can have it, you know, one profile for your phone if you wanted to use it for that, to type messages and things, or do emails when you're at home with it. Your TV, your other personal computer or whatever, your tablet, whatever you've got, up to 8 devices. This can be, you can have a profile for all 8 devices and connect to. So that's very cool indeed. And for a wireless keyboard, it's not ridiculously heavy either. It's about 1,000 or 1,410 grams to be precise, so about 1.4 kilos. And that's pretty easy to pick up and move around. And the feet look pretty solid. I don't think you'll break them off too easy. It looks like they'd probably pop out under pressure. With them folded away, I'd say it's quite durable. It'd survive a drop or two. And it does have a 2-year warranty as well. If you drop it and smash it, I'd say your warranty won't cover that, but you know, usual failures and things like that, it will cover. Alright, so I'll plug that in later on today. I will use it while I'm editing this video, and hopefully if I like it, I'll be using it for the foreseeable. I'll let you guys know what I think. Alrighty, we have the garbage bags left. So we're finishing on the garbage bags for this one. Oh, bugger. Anyone see where I put that knife? It's alright, got it. I'll edit that struggle out. Okay. Let's start with the big one, shall we? Okay. I've messed up this episode. I've done 3 keyboards in a row. What we have in here, it looks like, well, I assume, I'm pretty certain these are keyboards. That one says green. Did it say green? Where did I say that? I thought I said green switches. Cherry MX anyway. Cherry MX. So that's most likely a keyboard. And this also says mechanical tactile on the package. So looks like we have 2 keyboards on our hands. Let's see what. So this one is the AK60, and well, this one is the AK47. There's a little AK47 on the box. So these are AJAZZ keyboards, and these have been provided by the retailer Banggood. So if you guys are interested in these, I'll provide them. Banggood sent some stuff, I think for the last episode, or maybe it was the one before. But yeah, they sell some pretty cool gear, and it's at very reasonable prices. So let's have a look at the AK47. So the AK47 comes with, or this particular model I have, I think maybe they all do, is Cherry MX Green. So it is genuine Cherry MX switches, and these are the green variant, which aren't that easy to come across, I don't believe. So this is a $160 US keyboard. It is a premium keyboard. We'll take a look at it. That works out to be, for those buying from the Banggood website in Australia, it is $205 Aussie, I believe. I'll put the box aside. We'll get this foam off. Ooh, gee, that's a bit fancy looking. Ooh, okay, so it's red on the back. I suppose the cable's red and black as well. It's a red-black braided cable. Kind of a big, huge USB. Interesting looking connector on it. Okay, so it has a pair of feet for 2 different height adjusts, so that's kind of cool. Pretty standard stuff. Not really a wrist rest? Yeah, they're wrist rests, aren't they? Got a very small kind of, like it's a brushed kind of aluminium. It is actually aluminium on the front of it, and that looks and feels nice, but I would have liked something a bit bigger for the $160 US price tag. And then you've got the little aluminium insert up here, and there's some lights there which will indicate things like num lock, caps lock, and all that usual keyboardish stuff. So yeah, the screen switches are darker than I thought they'd be. I'm probably used to seeing the green Razer switches, which are a bit different because they're not Cherry MX switches. But anyway, so yeah, green Cherry MX switches. You can they all sound very much the same. They all feel very similar. They've got a really nice feel to them, I have to say. I think it's 80 gram actuation force on these, and I think they have a 2mm travel distance till actuation and a 4mm travel distance to the bottom. So yeah, that feels right. I'll have to throw up some B-roll because I haven't got nothing to plug it into at the moment, and that thing doesn't work when I plug stuff in. Need to be in Windows and all that sort of stuff. I believe it's got green backlit switches. So the switches themselves are green backlit. I believe the LEDs here are green. They are, of course, actually green switches, but they are also green backlit. So that's an interesting choice. I would have thought you'd make the cable black and green and this potentially green. But anyway, I mean, from the front, I suppose it'd be black and green. It would look pretty cool. Just, yeah, a bit of a clash there with the plastic. I think I can almost guess the comments, and that I'm guessing many of you guys wish the cable was solid black. And if that's true, I kind of see where you're coming from. I wish the same. And if it was black on the back, I think if it was black on the back with the black cable, and this was black and either green or white LED backlighting, I think then this would be a really, really sweet looking keyboard. But as it stands, it is a cool keyboard anyway. Definitely feels very premium. Looks very premium, extremely stiff and strong. I'll give it a go, and yeah, you will have already seen how it looks lit up and whatever with the B-roll, so hopefully that looked pretty cool. Can't comment there yet because I haven't seen it. But yeah, it's also quite weighty. I think have I talked about the weight yet? No, that was the other keyboard. This is 1,350 grams, so about 1.3 kilos. So it's a bit lighter than the wireless keyboard we just looked at. And you can see the wireless keyboard is much, I don't even know if that's in frame, much larger because it has that non-detachable wrist rest. And I wish this came with a wrist rest, but unless it is a just add water wrist rest, I can't see it. Anyway, cool keyboard, and I'll give that a test out on one of the test systems. Let's see how it goes. All right, we have another AJAZZ keyboard. And this one is the AK60. So we're going up a level with this one, potentially. Doesn't look like it based on the packaging. I think the AK45 is the big boss. Oh, hang on a minute, maybe it is. We have packaging within packaging. Don't worry about it. Alright, I've opened up the box. This one, we have a key puller with its own packaging. Good job, Steve. Wowzers. That is probably the most impressive keycap puller thing I've ever seen. It's even got a blue switch on the top with a clear keycap. Wow, that's next level on the keycap pulling front. Alright. No wrist rest on this one either, so, but we do have an all black. Ooh, wow. This is like a, dare I say it, a DAS knockoff kind of looking keyboard. All black, kind of a gunmetal grey on the top, and I believe that is an aluminium top plate, so another premium keyboard, this one. This, though, doesn't have Cherry MX switches. They are knockoff, I think, blues. Yeah, knockoff blues, I believe. Don't think they're Cherry MXs, and based on the price, I'd be surprised if they are, because this is actually quite affordable for what it is. $100 US for this model, and that works out to be $130 for those that purchase it from Banggood. So $100 US, there's plenty of mechanical keyboards for that price. But this one looks quite nice, I have to say. It is very interesting. If you look at it from the top, what is missing from this picture? What is unusual about this keyboard? Well, of course, it is the keycaps. And you can see they are labelled. Yep, they're labelled along the I suppose the front face, not the top face, depending on what a front of a key is. I'd say this is the top. Anyway, they are along there. So if you sit at your desk, bear with me. Does this chair go down? That's as low as it goes. So if you sit at your desk like this, these are perfect. Look at that. I can see what the keys are. If you, of course, sit at the desk like a regular person, like this, you don't know what they are. So yeah, it's a really good keyboard for the hunch folks. I'm gonna fix my chair now. Oh, I had this perfectly set. Where's the lever? There we go. Am I the right height? But yeah, in all seriousness, it does have side carved keycaps. I mean, I don't look at my keycaps when I type. Most people don't. I rarely find myself looking at what a key is. Pretty much don't. So that's kind of cool, I suppose. And it is, interestingly though, although the keycaps are there, it is RGB backlit. So you're going to see the glow around the keycap. The etching here will light up, apparently. I'll throw some B-roll up right now so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about while I'm just sitting here winging it. Yeah, so that's kind of novel, interesting, different. Keen to try that out. So it's your classic 104 key layout, but it actually has 110 keys because you've got some media keys there, and you've also got this dual action scroll wheel. I believe when the LED light that apparently is built into it, when that is active, you can use it to adjust the lighting. So you can turn the brightness up and down. You can turn the lighting on and off by clicking the button. And then in normal mode, it is volume control. So you can mute, I believe, the volume by clicking it, and you can adjust the volume up and down. So yeah, dual action wheel. That's kind of a cool volume wheel though. I like that. Looks good, feels good. It's kind of got a notchy feel. So as you turn, it's kind of like a notched mouse wheel kind of feel to it. This particular model is software controlled, or it does have software support. So there is a nice little utility you can use to adjust things like lighting and possibly key mapping and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. A lot of the sort of unknown brands, cheaper brands, don't have software support. So this one does. And yeah, so the feet can be set to the one height there. It has, so the feet kind of hop a bit and want to fold away when you push it back. They're not too bad. So let's, oh, bugger. So I think I'm doing this right. You push that down there and it pulls the key off. There you go, it caught that one. I am potentially doing this wrong. I just lost a key across the room. So you just pull them apart and then it pulls the key off. Anyway, that works pretty well if you want to pull the keys off and lose them and shoot them across the room and hopefully can find them again. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, got it. All right, keycap returned, installed. I'm keen to give this one a go as well. So I have a lot of keyboarding to do now. I'll have to write a review or something, do some actual work. We'll look into that. And yeah, really cool, fancy keycap remover. So it's been a little while since we've done a keyboard edition. But there you go, 3 keyboards in one video. That's a lot of keys. We also have the new Logitech mouse, this motherboard, which I am particularly excited about, and a very fancy but surprisingly well priced HDMI cable. Yeah, like the look of that. I'll give it a go and let you guys know, but yeah, it'll work. I don't know much else to say, but it is, yeah, nice premium cable. It is very thick, which I suppose is a good thing. It's HDMI cable. For those of you busting my chops about testing the Noctua Threadripper coolers, I've got nothing to report. I'm still, it's in the works. I'm also still working on the Aorus Waterforce review as well. And hopefully get that out next week. Or this week. I don't know. We'll see how we go. I've got a heap of stuff to do. I still have a mountain of boxes that need unboxing. And there is a heap more exciting stuff coming up later this month and early next month. So no shortage of content, guys. And of course, we've still got all the Upgrade My PC Please episodes to get through. So yeah, busy indeed. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Unboxing Boxes, where we mostly unboxed keyboards and no 1080 Ti's or X399 motherboards or any new upcoming stuff. But yeah, the keyboards were cool. Going to use the Logitech keyboard mouse combo. I'll have a build with this soon. I've got to get a cool Mini-iTX case off someone. I think the guys at PC Case Gear might have a cool Fantex case I can use they've been talking about. So maybe we'll do that. I don't know. You'll find out in an upcoming episode of Unboxing Boxes when I get the case. That's going to do it for this one. I am your host, Steve. I'll catch you guys again soon.